Imagine you get a job. It's a bit weird, a bit out of the way, but it's work. A Southcut clearance survey.
That's pretty mundane, right? Some old, disused railway tunnel. The kind of thing you see dotted all over the country.
Exactly. And the man sent to do this job, he's the kind of guy who, well, he loves this stuff. All the boring wartime history, the forgotten logistics.
He says himself he has the social instincts of a damp traffic cone. He's just there to observe, to document.
And he's not alone. He's got a partner, Dan.
Dan's the opposite. Young, maybe early 20s. He's got his AirPods in. He's vaping. He's talking about a UFC fight from the night before. He's in the present.
He could not care less about some old tunnel. But as they get to the entrance, even he has to notice that something is off.
Oh, yeah. It's not just closed. It's sealed.
Yeah.
Double chain link fence, heavy timber boards across the entrance.
And a padlock. A padlock the size of your fist.
But here's the first detail, the first thing that just sends a chill down your spine. The gate, the seal. It's been broken before. And then someone, clumsily patched it back up.
Someone's been inside recently. And they weren't supposed to be.
To understand why that's so terrifying, you have to know what this place is. The cross line, they called it during the war.
It was a supply line. They moved fuel, ammunition, medic units, all underground, hidden from the sky, until March 1944.
That's when it all went wrong. There was a supply train inside, just a routine run, but it broke down, right in the middle of the tunnel.
And at that exact moment, an air raid, a bomb hits the southern entrance.
The blast, the pressure change, it created this massive vacuum effect. It just sucked a fireball straight down the entire length of the tunnel.
Instantly incinerating everything. The train, the crew, everyone.
And in the middle of a war, they didn't have time for a recovery. They just sealed it, bricked it up, locked it, and walked away.
Buried it. For over 70 years. Until now.
So when these two guys crack the seal and step inside, the atmosphere hits them immediately, even through their respirators.
It's described as a misty blackness. The air itself tastes like licking the inside of an old kettle.
It's damp. It's stale. And this is the line that gets me. It smells like the breath of something sleeping.
Oof. Yeah, that's not just an old empty space. That's a lair.
And they start seeing signs that whatever's sleeping, it's been disturbed. There's a pile of crumbled brick that looks too new. Loose ceiling plates that haven't been hanging there since the 40s.
This is all recent damage. And then he finds something that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, in the gravel on the floor, there are these scraps of oily cloth, torn fabric. He finds one piece that's been twisted under a heavy track bolt.
He picks it up. It feels like canvas, but it's thinner. It's weird and tough.
And Dan just sees it as a hazard. A bit of trash to be cleaned up. He gets out his multi-tool to try and pry it loose. He's still in that normal, everyday headspace.
But the narrator, he knows this isn't right. He leaves Dan to it and walks on ahead, deeper into the tunnel, counting the refuge bays. The little safety alcoves cut into the wall.
He's looking for the train, for the proof of the story.
And just past the 8th bay, he finds it. A glint of twisted steel in the beam of his torch.
A husk of the supply train. It's just gutted, half melted and slumped across the rails.
The details are horrific. The siding is peeled back like a tin of Spam. He can see fabric from old uniforms actually fused into the metal rivets.
And beneath one of the wheel assemblies, a melted boot sole.
It's a tomb. It's exactly the tomb the history book said it was. But then he sees movement.
Just a flicker on the far side of the wrecked carriage.
And his first reaction is so normal, so mundane. He thinks it's a squatter. He even calls out, "You can't be here, mate. Hazardous conditions."
Just trying to rationalize it. Trying to keep it in a box he understands.
But then the thing shuffles into the light of his headlamp.
And it is not a person.
The account says it looks like it's wearing someone else's skin or trying to.
It's a patchwork. A blistered, wet patchwork of raw red tissue with veins that look like overrung wires stretched just beneath the surface.
It's pure biological chaos. But the worst part, the absolute worst part, is how it's connected to the wreck.
It's not just hiding in the train. Heavy steel cabling from the wreck has been fused into its flesh.
So every time it moves, this slow, jerky drag, the cables are tearing these deep, wet gouges into its body. It was made here.
A fusion of man and machine and fire and pressure, a living monument to that one horrific moment in 1944.
The narrator does the only thing he can do. He runs. He just bolts and throws himself into the nearest refuge bay, into the pitch black.
He's trying not to breathe,
Yeah.
not to make a sound. And then he realizes the ground beneath his knee feels tacky.
He risks it. He pulls out his phone, just for a second of light.
And the floor of the alcove is covered in it. Flaps of wet skin, exposed muscle and tendon, bits of whatever that thing is. It's been here. It's been shedding itself.
He's kneeling in it, and just as that horror hits him, the air is split by a sound.
It's radio. Tiny, staticky. It's an echo.
A panicked voice, looping over and over again from 70 years ago. South could control. This is red lead enemy overhead. Repeat enemy aircraft sighted, brace for impact.
The last words of the men who died here.
And the creature. It responds. The sound triggers it.
It jerks violently against the cables, letting out this horrible, raspy scream, just tearing itself apart, reliving the moment it was born.
The sound breaks the narrator's paralysis. He gets up, he has to get out, he runs, but then another voice comes through the static on his own radio. It's Dan.
And his voice is just cracking. Total terror. He just says, something's here. I can't.
And even though he's terrified, the narrator turns back. He has to find his partner.
He finds Dan's tool bag first, just dropped on the gravel. And then, further down, he sees a figure hunched over in a small maintenance tunnel.
He thinks, thank God he thinks Dan's just hurt. He starts moving towards him.
But as he gets closer, he sees it. Dan's proportions were off.
Too broad in the shoulders, too long in the limbs.
And the narrator has this one absolutely bone-chilling realization. This thing, this new thing, it had done a better job than the last.
A better job, meaning it's learning. The first one was a prototype, a messy fusion. This one is an imitation, an upgrade.
And that's when he flees for his life. No turning back this time. He just sprints for the tunnel entrance, for the daylight.
He doesn't even stop for the gate, just hits it with a full shoulder check and bursts out into the morning air.
But it's right behind him. It slams through the broken gate, out into the open.
And then something incredible happens. The second the daylight, the fresh air, hits its bare back, it shrieks.
A sound of pure agony. The exposed flesh on his back begins to sizzle, to blister and split open. Steam starts hissing from underneath Dan's skin.
Whatever the vacuum and the fire did to create it, it also made it completely unable to survive in the outside world. The stale, dead air of the tunnel is the only thing keeping it stable.
It recoils instantly, dragging itself backwards, scrambling back into the darkness, back into its tomb.
The narrator doesn't hesitate. He hauls the heavy gate shut, fumbles with the giant padlock, and snaps it closed, sealing it again.
But now he has a new problem. What does he tell people?
He can't tell them the truth. They'd never believe him. Or worse, they would.
So he lies. He makes up a story. There was a collapse, a rock fall. Dan was caught. His body is buried too deep, too dangerous to recover.
He says it was anything to keep anyone else from going back in.
He creates a new story. A new layer of myth to keep the seal in place. He sacrifices his friend's memory to protect the world from what's inside.
And the story ends with him later that night, just unable to sleep. He's flipping through channels on the TV.
And he lands on a sports channel, a rerun of a UFC fight.
It takes him a second to place it. And then he remembers it's the featherweight bout Dan was talking about, just hours before.
He sits there and watches the spinning elbow finish that Dan had called an absolute belter.
That one perfect, mundane detail from a world that doesn't exist for him anymore. A memory of his friend, now just part of the horror sealed away in the dark.
So we're left with this account of a place where history didn't just happen. It festered. It became something physical, something that learned.
The fire didn't just kill those men, it remade them into something that should never see the light of day.
Which leaves you with a final thought to mull over. The first creature was a crude monster, bound by steel, a prisoner of its own creation. But the second one was better. It wore a better disguise.
So what happens when the next one, the third one, does an even better job? What happens when a thing born of that trauma finally perfects the art of imitation and learns to walk in the sun, wearing a face that nobody would ever question? What other atrocities are just waiting, learning under our feet?